Sex opposites of light. Light is the power which God has used to create the appearance of form. Light is power for man to use in the perfection of his body. Therefore must he know the cause of light as he knows his alphabet. He must understand the inexhaustible source of energy which continues matter in motion, if he would know the fullness of energy available to his command. The rhythm of creative thinking is absolute. The registration of creative thinking is absolute. All thinking is creative thinking. All thinking is creating that which it is thinking. Man's power of thinking is in sex opposition of mind. God's power of expressing himself is in transforming that which is his own body into an effect which man calls creation. The Universal One has no other means of expressing ideas save through his own body. Man's power of expressing the idea of himself is only through his own body. Man has expressed himself through the creation of his own body by his own thinking, exactly as God has expressed himself through the creation of his own body by his own thinking. Man's body is but an individual effect of the whole of man and is the product of his thinking. The universe is the total of all individual effects and is the product of God's thinking. God's thinking is man's thinking. All thinking is the product of mind, and all mind is divine mind. Again, must it be written, there are not two minds, nor are there two kinds of minds in the universe. Light is God's medium of expressing himself. It is the only medium at his command. Light is man's medium of expressing himself. It is the only medium at his command. Creation of that which man calls form has a perpetual beginning and a perpetual ending. Its beginning is in thinking. Its end is in thinking. Its beginning is its ending. It has no beginning. It has no ending. There is no stop, no break in the continuity of thinking. To man, its beginning is its appearance within his octaves of perception. To man, its ending is its disappearance beyond his range of perception. Form is born of the desire to express ideal. Form is the plaything of ideal. All form is form of sex. Ideal is never satisfied with form. Form of ideal is continuously changing with the process of thinking. Form is born anew with each impulse of thinking. Ideal is reasserted in new form with each impulse of thinking. All ideal of mind is integrated through generative or male sex thinking. All ideal of mind is disintegrated through radiative or female sex thinking. All idea of mind is reproduced through the regenerative union of sex thinking, which is equilibrium of sex. Ideal of mind may mature or evolve only through sex union. Consider any idea of mind, whether that of individual man or of the Universal One. Man thinks ideal. Thinking is the force of motion. All motion is expressed in waves. All waves of motion are both male and female. All motion is oscillatory action and reaction. Action is male, reaction is female. All ideal is registered in light as an appearance of the form of ideal. Form of substance is electromagnetic. This means that it is preponderantly male and preponderantly female in periodicity. All ideal evolves from ideal into form of ideal, which in turn devolves back again into ideal. Evolution is growth. Devolution is dissolution. Evolution is male. It is electrically preponderant. Devolution is female. It is magnetically dominant. Man can only mature ideal through the orderly periodicities of sex thinking. To evolve ideal, he must think in light. Genero-active light is the creative force of sex thinking. Radioactive light is the decreative force of sex thinking. Union of these two opposites into the constant of one which is in equilibrium and has impacted in inertia is the reproductive force. Sex is a dimension of the illusion of form, and as such it will be further considered with other dimensions of illusion, which will be written down and charted. Next chapter, the reproductive principle. Reproduction means the repetition of a state of motion. Reproduction is repetition. All phenomena of nature are repetitive. All states of motion are repetitive. All ideal of mind is repetitive. Ideal of mind is the product of thinking. Repetition of ideal is the reproduction of that product. This is a universe of repetition of motion. This is a universe of reproduction. This universe of cause and effect is perpetual and continuous as to cause, and repetitive as to all effects of cause. All effect is caused by thinking and registered in motion. All motion is either an action or reaction of its cause. Nothing is produced as an effect of thinking that is not either the action or reaction of force expressed in motion. That which is produced must be reproduced. No state of motion ever ends. All states of motion are forever reproduced. All states of motion are of apparently separate things, are actions and reactions of the force which produced them. All varying idea of mind is registered in separate states of motion which have measurable dimensions. The reproduction of all ideal is the result of union of the ideal and reaction which registered that ideal. Every action is male, every reaction is female, every action is electro-positive, every reaction is electro-negative. Every action has its equal and opposite reaction. Every action and every reaction is a tone in an octave of the universal constant of energy. Equal and opposite actions and reactions, when united, comprise a unit of an octave of the universal constant of energy. An action and its opposite reaction are not two. Their energies, when combined, make one. Reaction is born of action, and action is born again of reaction. All ideal and all forms of ideal are the result of union between equal or unequal opposite actions and reactions of force. Perfection of mating lies in the union of exactly equal and opposite male actions and female reactions. In perfection of union lies stability. Imperfection of mating lies in the union of unequal and opposite male actions and female reactions. In imperfection of union lies instability. Unequal actions and reactions will unite with unwillingness, which increases in proportion to their degree of departure from exact equality in opposition. When the potentials of the opposites are too far removed from equality, then will union cease.